Superman 2025. So, this is a pretty polarizing movie. I've seen positive reviews, negative reviews, but this is going to be my review, spoiler free, for Superman 2025. But before we get into anything, guys, please, for me, like this video, subscribe to the page, and hit that noti bell. Alright, let's get into it. Review for Superman 2025. I actually went to the early screening on Tuesday, July 8th, so here are some of my general thoughts on what happened in the movie, on the cast, crew, everything about the movie. So let's get right into it. So first, I'm going to start with the positives in the movie, the things I enjoyed. I think every actor in this movie was cast in the perfect role. I think they all did an amazing job with what they were given, story-wise, acting-wise, everything like that. David Corenswet as Superman was absolutely phenomenal. He truly felt like a mixture of Tom Welling from Smallville with Superman the Animated Series, Justice League Unlimited Superman, which for me personally, that is the perfect version of Superman, the one from the DCAU. Perfect Superman. And in this movie, time and time again, this character personified what it means to be Superman. He was perfect as Clark Kent, his reactions, his emotion, and I've also seen a lot of people out there that say, like, hey, Superman took a beating, and even in the trailers, it would show him kind of getting pounded on. Did anyone else not watch Superman the Animated Series and Justice League the Animated Series? Because in that show, they make it a point to have Superman take a beating a lot, and it's because he can take a beating. That's the whole point of Superman. And he also pulls his punches. That's why when at the end of the series, at the end of that universe, when Darkseid is there, he literally says to Darkseid, I feel like I live in a world made of cardboard, constantly taking care not to break someone or break something. And then he unleashes his strength on someone who can take it. And he even says, but you can take it, can't you, big man? So that's a big thing with Superman. So I actually like that in this, it shows Superman taking that beating because he can. And even like in the trailers, it shows that he lands in the snow and he's all beat up. Superman can take that beating. That is what he does. But enough praise for David Cornsweet. Again, he did amazing. Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane was phenomenal as well. That scene that was in the trailer of her interviewing Clark Kent, it's obviously extended in the movie. They don't show all of it in the trailer, but everything about that scene was perfect Lois Lane. From the things she asked him, from the reactions she gave to some of his responses, it was perfect. And that's not to mention her on-screen chemistry with David Cornsweet. I fully believe that this was a couple in love, which obviously is great when you're having two love interests. And she wasn't just a love interest. She was Lois Lane, a badass reporter. So again, I think she did great. And then obviously the praises online for Nicholas Hoult. Everyone's loving him as Lex Luthor. I thought he did a really awesome job. I would venture to say probably top 3 Lex Luthor of all time. Probably top 2 in live action. Again, my perfect Lex Luthor is the one from Superman the Animated Series and the DCAU. I think that's a perfect character. This Lex Luthor has potential to be that, because that was the vibes I was getting in this movie. He was villainous, he was spiteful, he was awesome. And it's not just the corny villainous stuff. He had some crazy moments in this movie, and again, I'm not going to spoil them, but when you see the movie, you will know exactly what I am talking about. And you will know why everyone is praising this man for his performance. All the side characters, side cast, they did amazing. The Justice Gang. I had reservations going into the movie about those characters being added and the choices for those characters. I really enjoyed them all. I know specifically Mr. Terrific. A lot of people were enjoying him. I enjoyed him a lot, but actually my favorite one was Guy Gardner. I think he was awesome. He was hilarious. I wasn't a huge Guy Gardner fan in animation and in the comics. I prefer Hal Jordan. He's my favorite Green Lantern. But that being said, Guy Gardner, he stole so many scenes that he was in. He was phenomenal. Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner was fantastic. And again, I mentioned that Mr. Terrific may get his own series. I have some reservations about that, but I could see why. He was great in the movie as well. He was really enjoyable every time he was on screen. Other than that, like the villain, aside from Lex Luthor, that's when I kind of get into the, I don't want to say bad because I did enjoy it. It's just maybe lackluster in that regard. I was hoping for a little bit more. However, everyone pretty much knows it's Ultraman. James Gunn confirmed that he has a giant U on his chest. That being said, the different avenues that could be taken for Ultraman, I just feel like very early on in the movie, you know for sure what avenue they're going down. There is a point towards the end of the movie where you think they could go a certain way, and that's the way I wanted them to go. Um, but again, that's just personal preference, what I wanted from the story. Overall, the story was really good. It was enjoyable. I found myself enjoying pretty much every moment that I was watching. It didn't feel too long. It didn't feel too short, although I could have appreciated 5 to 10 more minutes just to flesh out some more characters and let the story breathe a little bit. I feel like I don't want to say rushed, but in some moments it was going at a very fast pace where us as an audience didn't fully have the ability to breathe, kind of take in some of the more emotional effects of the movie. Some of the choices with Clark's Kryptonian parents, Jarell and Laura. Again, this is more personal preference. It reminded me of Smallville. Again, I'm not going to spoil what, but I'll just leave it at that. And when talking about positives about this movie, I totally forgot to mention Krypto. Now, I was I had some reservations about Krypto being in this movie. However, I will say, he was one of the best parts of this movie. He was hilarious, he was adorable, and all in all, a great addition to this movie. Reminded me a lot of the cartoon Krypto the Superdog. Overall, I really enjoyed this movie. I think it may be my favorite Superman live action movie. Again, the ones with Christopher Reeves were the ones I grew up on, just because they are so much older. The special effects, they do kind of take you out of it, but I can still appreciate it. My favorite one was the second one with General Zod. But yeah, all in all, I think this was definitely a very enjoyable movie. If I had to give it a score, I would say I think originally I said 8.2 to 8.5 out of 10. I've definitely moved up. I would say it's definitely at that solid 8.5 out of 10. Highly recommend. And it definitely sets up an exciting new DC universe that I'm really excited to see. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And while you guys are down there, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that noti bell. And until next time, I will see all of you Kryptonians in the next video. Goodbye.